everyone, and welcome to Episode 3, Season 4 of Wayland Sports Chat. I'm your host, Andrew Hebert. Alongside me are Aditya Welling and Brendan O'Rourke. Today we'll talk about our NFL award predictions. Aditya, who do you have winning the MVP this year?
Yeah, for me, Andrew, I'm going to have to go with Tom Brady. Obviously, old, reliable, leads a 9-3 Buccaneers team that are the defending Super Bowl champions. He leads the league in yards per game and touchdown passes at the age of 44. And another big thing is MVP is usually a narrative award, and at 44 years old, like I talked about, that's huge for writers and the AP who are ultimately going to be voting on this award. He's also second in QBR and top 5 in passer rating, and he's on pace to break the 5,050 touchdown record. So, yeah, I think Brady's should be a shoo-in right now.
All right, Brendan, let's hear your pick.
Yeah, for me, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's been great all season long, and he's top 10 QBR, passer rating, and touchdowns. To go along with that, he has only 4 interceptions this season, and his true value is shown in the Chiefs game when Jordan Love was their starting quarterback, and their offense is just atrocious. The Packers so far have been dealing with many injuries this season, and he has stepped up, and the Packers are tied for second in the NFC. So on paper, Aaron Rodgers might not look like the best pick, but when it comes to value, no one in the league is more valuable. Number 12 for Green Bay.
Yeah, that's a good pick. The Packers have definitely been doing well lately, and Rodgers has been playing well. So now we'll switch over to the young uns of the NFL, the Rookie of the Year award. Aditya, who do you have?
Yeah, I have to go with Jamar Chase here. Obviously, a lot of people talk about the quarterbacks in most of these awards, but I think Jamar Chase has earned it. He's top 5 in the league in yards and touchdowns as a rookie. That's just insane. He has more receiving yards through the first 7 games of an NFL career than any player in NFL history, breaking records as a young player with an LSU connection with Joe Burrow. He's just been great. Top 3 in yards per catch and top 5 in catches of 20 or more yards. He is having a historic season for a surprise contender. A lot of people didn't have the Bengals being this good this early. I think Jamar should win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's an interesting pick, Aditya. I mean, last year you saw Justin Jefferson also have an amazing season, but he ended up not winning because he's a wide receiver. So it'll be interesting to see if a wide receiver can pull this award out. Brendan, let's hear your pick.
Yeah, that's right, Andrew. I thought because Jamar is a wide receiver that probably can't pull this one off. But for me, Mac Jones is the choice right now. He leads all rookie quarterbacks in just about every stat, including QBR, touchdowns, yards. And he's also 3rd in the entire league in completion percentage. And he's led the Patriots, the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. So he's been the piece that the Patriots needed at quarterback from the 15th overall pick, and they got that with Mac Jones.
Good pick, Brendan. I mean, I think he's the favorite right now. He has been leading the Patriots to a 7-game win streak, I'm pretty sure. So now we'll switch over to the offense side of the ball. Aditya, who is your offensive player of the year?
Yeah, I have to go with Cooper Kupp here. Cooper Kupp is just demolishing every other wide receiver in pretty much every stat. He leads the league in receptions. He is the only one in triple digits. Next closest is 86, so it's not even close. Touchdowns, targets, yards after the catch, and first downs. He's second in 20-plus yard catches behind Justin Jefferson, and he's top 10 in catch percentage among wide receivers, despite having the most targets in the league by a wide margin. He has one game the entire year with less than 7 catches and 90 yards. Cooper Kupp is just demolishing everyone. He's just been going crazy. I think Cooper Kupp is the easy offensive player of the year.
Yeah, he certainly has broke out this year, showed a great connection with quarterback Matthew Stafford. So it's going to be hard to beat him, but let's hear what Brendan has to say.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp would be a great pick, but Jonathan Taylor is having an outstanding season. He, right now, is the only running back with 1,000 rushing yards and more than 15 touchdowns. He has 16. He is coming off the AFC Offensive Player of the Month for the month of November, where he had 3 100-yard rushing games. So he is extremely hot, and he's carrying that Colts offense with Carson Wentz, who's been a pretty mediocre quarterback. And they're looking to make a playoff push right now, and Jonathan Taylor will be the main factor to that playoff push.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor the last 5 or 6 weeks has really exploded and put his name in the conversation for some even say MVP. But neither of you picked him, but definitely Offensive Player of the Year. He is in the running. Now over to the defensive side of the ball. Aditya, who is your Defensive Player of the Year pick?
Yeah, Andrew, I have to go with Trevon Diggs here, quarterback for the Cowboys. He leads the league in interceptions with 9, 2 clear of anyone else, and he's second in the league in pass deflections. He has 2 defensive touchdowns, one of only 2 players who can say that, and he's the only big-name player on the Cowboys that's been consistently on the field. I know a lot of people talk about DeMarcus Lawrence, who's a great player, but he's missed a lot of games because of injury. He's been carrying this Cowboys defense. I know he's slipped off a little bit in terms of his interception production, but I think overall, body of work, Trevon Diggs is the easy pick here for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's a solid pick. It'll be interesting to see, as you said, whether he can keep those interceptions coming, those defensive plays coming for the rest of the year. Brendan, who is your pick for Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, for me, it's TJ Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He leads the NFL in sacks with 16. The next closest is Myles Garrett with 14, and TJ has played 2 less games than Myles Garrett. He also leads the league in tackles for loss and is top 3 in forced fumbles and QB hits. His impact is shown in the Steelers' defense because opponents' offenses average 22 points when TJ is on the field, and with TJ off the field, they average 32 points.
Yeah, Brendan, TJ Watt has just been a stud for these last 2 years, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks. And I would have to agree with Brendan on this. I think TJ Watt's the pick for Defensive Player of the Year. So now we'll go to some people, a person who maybe had an injury last year, didn't have the best season. We're looking at Comeback Player of the Year for the NFL. Aditya, who's your pick for comeback player?
Yeah, I have to go with Dak Prescott here, another Cowboy. I think Dak Prescott coming off last year, I believe it was week 4 or 5 where he just tore, I believe it was an ACL injury in which he had to miss the rest of the year. Came back strong right out the gate against the Buccaneers, the defending champs. He goes into Tampa, plays a great game, almost won that game. The only problem was the MVP, Tom Brady, was on the other side. But Dak Prescott overall, I know he's had a couple of stinkers, obviously against Denver. Hasn't played great against the Raiders either on Thanksgiving. But overall, I think Dak Prescott has shown that as the comeback player of the year, coming back from an injury like that, be able to lead your team to the number 1 seed in their division, which granted isn't a great division, but it's still an accomplishment. Dak Prescott putting up numbers too. I think Dak Prescott is the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, that's a good pick. You saw before he got injured last year, he was putting up astounding numbers. I think he was on pace to break the single-season yards record for the NFL. And again, as you were saying, to start this year, he had another great start. He has slowed down a little bit lately. The Cowboys' offense has been a little inconsistent, but I would agree that's still a solid pick. We'll see how he does going forward. Brendan, who's your pick?
For me, Joe Burrow is the answer for comeback player of the year. He's coming off an injury where he tore multiple ligaments in his knee, including his ACL and MCL. And he's doing all this behind a pretty horrific offensive line. He has developed a dynamic connection with Jamar Chase, proving to be one of the best wide receiver quarterback connections in the league. And he's top 10 passing yards and passer rating. Bengals, as a team, have exceeded everyone's expectations from not even making the playoffs to be right in the thick of it when it comes to the AFC playoff picture at this moment.
Yeah, Joe Burrow had a horrific injury last year. It's good to see him back and playing well. And as you said, he has led the Bengals to a very good record, so that's a strong pick as well. Now we'll shift over to the coaching side of the ball. Coaches are very important in the NFL. They call all your plays, make all the adjustments. Aditya, who do you have winning Coach of the Year?
Yeah, I have to go with what might be the easy pick here, Cliff Kingsbury. I know a lot of times Coach of the Year might not always go to the team with the best record, but I think it's granted here. Cliff Kingsbury, a lot of people questioned whether or not he deserved the job when he got in Arizona, struggled the first couple of years, but now with Kyler Murray missing 2 or 3 games, winning 2 games with Colt McCoy at quarterback, something has to be said for that. That just shows the type of coaching this team has. I know he has a lot of talent in Chandler Jones, bringing in J.J. Watt, obviously A.J. Green to go alongside DeAndre Hopkins, but that's another thing. DeAndre Hopkins has missed, I believe, 2 or 3 games as well. To win those games with, probably your 2 best players on the team gone, just shows the type of coach Cliff Kingsbury is. At 10-2, best record in the league, Cliff Kingsbury is my pick.
Yeah, coming off an 8-8 season last year for the Cardinals, Kingsbury had some criticism of him, but now he's put those doubts away, led the Cardinals to the best record of the year. That air raid offense that he took from his college days is destroying NFL defenses, and it's definitely working very well. Brendan, who is your pick for Coach of the Year?
Yeah, you talked about Kingsbury being the obvious pick, but I think the obvious pick is the best coach of all time, and that is Bill Belichick. The Patriots are number 1 in the AFC right now, and he is coaching the number 1 scoring defense. And to go along with the scoring defense, the offense has not been that bad either. They are top 10 in scoring offense, and he's doing that with a rookie quarterback and basically no talent on the outside, with their best receiver being Kendrick Bourne or Jacoby Myers at this moment.
Yeah, Brendan, I have to interject there. I see what you're saying about Bill Belichick. He's obviously a great coach. My only argument would be Bill Belichick, if it was really about the best coach, Bill Belichick would have 20 Coach of the Year. So I think it's more about who's the best coach right now. And I think Cliff Kingsbury has proved this season with, I believe, 2 games over Bill Belichick's team. As great as Bill Belichick's been, he's obviously the best coach of all time. He's still the best coach right now. But Cliff Kingsbury this season, I believe, deserves the award.
Yeah, to counter that, I think this has got to be one of Bill's best coaching jobs he's ever done in his entire career. He is not as talented as offense as he's had. He doesn't have Tom Brady to be his quarterback and to run that offense. So with Mac Jones at the quarterback, he has done an outstanding job to manage this team.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to side with Brendan here. Belichick turned this team around. It looked like after Brady left, this is going to be a long rebuilding process. It's not turned out that way. They are now 9-4 after that gutsy win over the Bills and looking to sweep the rest of the season. Belichick is, I think, one of the sole reasons for this quick turnaround. He has not let the loss of Tom Brady affect the rest of the team. He's built a strong roster as GM as well, and I think they'll go deep in the playoffs this year. So interesting takes from both sides. I mean, certainly there's a lot of choices you can make for both players and coaches, but it's good to hear what you guys had to say. So thanks for watching this episode of Sports Chat. I'm Andrew Hebert. Alongside me is Aditya Welling and Brendan O'Rourke. Again, thanks for watching.